Welcome to Conversations with Toy, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
Happy Friday. I hope that you have had the most outstanding week. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Toy. I am so ecstatic to be here. It's another Friday. I know that we're not supposed to live for Fridays, but listen, it's Friday. We've made it. We have done the things to get us to this point. And now it's time to focus on the weekend. However, if you are like many, the weekend is going to be full of prepping. The holidays is literally next week. Do you have your turkey? I do not. Do you have all your fixings? I do not. Do you have all your ingredients? Again, I do not. So I will be like most, scrambling around trying to make my list and getting out to the grocery stores, fighting the peoples to get what I need. Thank you for tuning into Conversations with Toy. If this is your first time, hello. My name is Toy. I am your podcaster. I'm also a content creator, a blogger who just celebrated 10 amazing years as an amazing writer of my blog. And I've been able to just collaborate with so many different publications. It's just been a beautiful, beautiful whirlwind. With that being said, I'm ecstatic to be here for this particular episode as we get ready for Thanksgiving. Since this is the last let me pause. I'm not saying last because y'all gonna be like, what's happening here? This is the episode right before the holidays. The next time that we come back together, it will be next Friday. I'm still gonna bring you episodes so I can tell you what happened on my Thanksgiving, okay? But we're preparing for Thanksgiving. We're preparing for us to get together with family. We're preparing to meet with friends. We are preparing. And with that preparation, not everybody has those cookie cutter, cozy little tight-knit, beautiful little families that we just all have a kumbaya. We get along so super well. We don't have any issues and everything seems to work out in everyone's favor. Not everybody. Maybe I can just speak for me. I don't always have that. Sometimes families can be messy. Let me help some people out this particular Thanksgiving as we prepare, as we walk into this thing. If you don't want nobody talking to you about your weight, don't bring nothing up about nobody else's weight. And I don't care if you were slim and trim. At one point, you might not have been. So I'm going to need you to keep your lips shut and worry about yourself. Remember the little girl in the back seat that be like, worry about yourself, you drive. That's what I want you to do as you go into the holiday season. If you have a divorce underneath your belt or have never walked down the aisle, please do not formulate your lips to ask somebody when they're going to get married. If you cannot raise or did not raise your children, or you didn't raise them well, or your children can come up and say, we have a general disdain for our mother or our father, do not ask somebody if and when they're going to have a child. Here's another thing about pregnancies. Even if you think somebody's pregnant until they tell you, mind your business, worry about yourself, you drive. Okay, turn around, worry about you. Because a lot of y'all be overstepping. Some of y'all are habitual line steppers and we need you to get your life together and pull it back. Okay. We need you to get yourself together, leave people alone and eat your turkey. Since when does turkey eating and being messy come together? And the only reason why I continue to do that, because some of y'all, listen to my aunties. All my aunties, if you consider yourself an auntie, if you're an auntie, leave people alone. Because some of y'all hide behind age and stage as if your age and stage could stop you from being clocked. I'm trying to figure that all out because it doesn't. The more disrespectful you choose to toe the line, you can get got too. Do not think because I'm your aunt, you're supposed to respect me. That doesn't get you nowhere but to a slow boat to hell. Okay. I need us to mind the business that pays us. Some of y'all is looking for jobs. You ain't got nobody paying you in a month of Sundays. So I'm gonna need you to leave people alone. Allow people to eat, allow people to enjoy, allow people to indulge without having to answer your questions of whoa, why do people have to answer you? Who are you? I'm the aunt. I'm the grandmom. I'm the mom. You can also You can also mind your business. Minding your business is free. I don't know if you know, but minding your business, the last time I checked, didn't come with a price tag or nothing. It's something you could do for free. God is good, ain't he? He allowed you to do that for free, and you ain't have to pay no price of admission. So while you put your feet up to the table to eat, just simply do that. Worry about you. Don't count nobody's calories. Don't bother nobody. Don't say, is that boyfriend, you gonna get married, when y'all gonna get married? Because some of y'all pushing some of these people into these marriages that don't even need to be together, let alone being married. And you don't even like the person you're with. You laid up to the next to the person you don't even like, telling somebody else to go into that. I'm just sticking up for the people who can't say it, because what you gonna do? Smack me? Not gonna happen. So let's just eat our food. Let's gather our peoples. Let's sit underneath the tables of the people that truly love us. Listen, time out for just going over to Aunt So-and-so's house because that's tradition. If Aunt So-and-so ain't going to act right, I'm staying my behind home. And let me just tell you, I'm talking what I know. I stopped going around a lot of my family members' houses because I ain't got time. And because the way my mouth is set up. See, let me just say what I think. Let me tell you what I know. A lot of people will only see you as the 12 or 13-year-old child that you once was. A lot of us, like myself, I'm already over 40. I'm over the 40. We over the 40, right? And so because I'm over the 40, I ain't been 12 in a long time. Okay? And so since I haven't been 12 in a long time, I don't have to be going back and forth with nobody because I'm grown. Don't nobody pay these bills. I take care of my family, and there's that. Okay, I just want us to remind ourselves. Some people will literally come at you. And I remember I had one family member was like, well, you just so verbal. I didn't realize you were so, you spoke so sternly. And I said, well, that's because you are used to 12-year-old toy. At the time I was in my 30s, and 30-year-old toy never needed to hold her tongue. Okay, 30-year-old toy didn't have a care to give. I'd run out all the fucks. So since all the fucks were giving, I was done. Okay. So please do not run up on somebody like myself who is okay and prepared to say, listen, not only will I lay you out verbally, I ain't got to put my hands on you. We ain't going to jail for nobody, child. I look good in orange, but not a orange jumpsuit. But because I will lay you out verbally, I just ain't going to come because you don't bring me peace. You really don't really care for me. You kind of dealing with me because I'm family. I may be dealing with you because you're family, and I'm time out for that. We're not doing that this year, okay? Let's talk about a few things that has been happening this week. Normally, we talk about mental health, and I'm going to get to that because this is what we do here. We talk about mental health. We talk about things that are happening in these internet streets. But let's just talk about a few things. Since we already dragging the peoples, and since we're already going there, let's continue. To the Southern white women who got up on the TikToks, the talks of the ticks of the talks, and made videos talking about how women, white, black, or any other color, were going to allegedly jump them because they voted for Trump. Let me just say, black women specifically ain't paying you not a stitch of attention, okay? We care if not. We've done our due justice. 92% of us did what needed to be done. It's the white men and the Spanish men who had their problems, and the white women too, actually. If I'm quite honest, the white women is the one who did what they needed to do. Yet when everything went down, I didn't see nobody looting. I didn't see nobody killing nobody, hurting nobody over no vote. It was just like, all right, it is well. Okay. We didn't like it. Some of us is in mourning. Some people are trying to pick up the pieces. Some people are trying to strategize. Some people are doing, things. A lot of us are trying to figure out what we can do to help our communities. That's it. Not one time did anybody say they was going to jump anybody. I didn't hear not one person, especially nobody of color, say, when I catch one of you white women that voted for Trump, I'm going to jump you. Who cares? You voted. You cast your vote. You won. Praise be. Nobody is worrying about jumping nobody. I love how in the midst of telling people, after you got on the ticks and the talks of the ticks, you decided to tell people that we, and I say we as a collective of those who didn't vote for Trump, saying that we were going to jump you. And that when we do decide to run up on you, you were going to utilize your pals. That's cute. First and foremost, a lot of people have the same levels of pals. So I don't understand how you thought that was going to eat. It didn't. I really don't understand how we thought we were getting there. And then number two, who is worried about you. Somebody on TikTok, I can't remember their screen name and I wish I could. Maybe I'll go back and find it. They said, you shouldn't be worried about whether or not people who voted for Kamala is going to jump you. What you need to be worrying about is if your husband's going to knock your block in between the stove and the counter. Because 90% of them white men that I am aware of and the stuff that I know are the ones that will have domestic abuse violence and all kinds of carrying on. So while you worry about somebody who don't give two damns about it, you need to worry about the one you sleep next to that's going to knock your head between the stove and the counter. Okay, that's who you need to worry about. You need to worry about the white men who did vote for him, that along with you, because you couldn't vote against your spouse. And that says a lot right there. And you're worrying about the rest of the people jumping you. You need to be worrying about how if you get into these you're already in these ragged divorces, and now there'll be no more no-fault divorce. Okay, you need to be worried about that. You need to be worried about if you or somebody you love ends up with a pregnancy that they cannot terminate should they need to. And God forbid if they have a medical emergency that deals with anything OBGYN, meaning it doesn't even have to be pregnancy. It could be something related to the O, the B, the G, the Y, the N, and you can't get services because that would be considered against the law. So instead of worrying about whether or not people who voted for Kamala is going to jump you in these streets and you ready to rock on people, I need you to worry about that. Okay. The other part of the video that I saw, another person who got on Al Green's internet and decided that you said, ooh, let me be the first one that y'all roll up on. I cannot wait. Come on, roll up on me. Ma'am, don't you got some corners to clean in your house? I know I do. I need to clean walls. I can clean the stove. I got things to do. Why did you get on Beyonce's internet and volunteer to get your behind whooped? One of the creators I absolutely love. It's something about her. I don't know where the heck she came from, but I'm going to find her information. I'm going to find it. Her name is Rashonda. Now, I think it's Rayshonda. Rayshonda. Yes, Rayshonda, her name, she's a beautiful woman, right? And she said, why you worrying about volunteering to get jumped? Most of the times when folks is really going to rock you, meaning when people really going to jump you, they don't give you no church announcement. Don't nobody say, you know what, on Friday, I'm coming up there and rock you out. I'm going to knock you out and send you back to the Lord. Nobody does that. One thing my mom always taught me is that people who sell wolf tickets, meaning people who talk a lot, say they're going to do something, and then they try to, give you the blow by blow. Those are the people who won't do a damn thing to you. Those are people you can just let them keep talking and let them do what they're going to do. Because 9 times out of 10, they just talking to hear themselves talk. Okay. That is that part. It's the ones who watch you when you're talking, say nothing, and then they explode. Those are the ones you should watch. It's the quiet ones. It's the quiet ones. So if somebody was really going to jump you, Southern women, those who was in that TikTok, those who reshared those TikToks, those who liked said TikTok, those people, them women's, all of y'all who did that, what you need to be concerned about is if somebody was really going to rock you, sis, they wouldn't have said nothing to you. You just would have been rocked and you wouldn't have had enough time to grab your pew because you'd already been rocked. I need us to stop playing on these internets. I need us to stop playing on these airways. I need us to stop playing for the people and stop making up stories. Stop lying. Ain't nobody said they was going to jump you. That's first of all. Nobody cares about you that much. Y'all think too much highly of yourselves that somebody going to jump you. I'm not going to jail just because somebody voted against something that I didn't like or I didn't want. I could care less. I'm not doing all that, okay? I'm not about to jump somebody. I'm not about to separate me from my children over nobody and no pasty ass white woman who is from the South complaining, talking about somebody was going to fake jump you. And I'm talking specifically to that particular creator, okay? Nobody's putting their hands on you. Y'all not worth it. And anybody else who, again, shared it, liked it, all the things, we care if not. I almost can guarantee you. So, since we're gathering the people for Thanksgiving, we can add you to the list. Now, that lady, I don't even remember her name, her name's not even important, has decided to come up off the internet. But the internet lives forever. That's exactly why you have to be careful what you make on videos and stuff because it can follow you and it can follow you and it can follow you. So let me just say, again, to that creator who decided to make the video saying that these people were imaginarily going to beat you up and they were going to jump you, stop lying. You're lying and you're capping, okay? Like the young folks would say, you're capping, okay? That means you're making up stuff, you're lying, and the truth ain't never been in you, okay? That's number one. To the other creator That wonderful creator that decided to come on there and say, well, I want you to sign me up because I want to be the first one you beat up. Ma'am, no one cares, okay? No one cares that you are deciding to be the first to sign up to get your ass whooped because nobody's coming for you. You're just going to be standing in the street. You can stand there and make a bed in the street and wait for somebody to get you. You're going to be looking like a homeless person because you will not, I'm sorry, the displaced, the unhoused. You will be looking like them because nobody's coming for you. You'll just be out there keeping yourselves accompanied with the people that are outside. Okay? So get yourself together and stop making up these lies. Okay? Now let's go to happy things. Last Sunday, before the movie came out, I know you know Wicked is out. Wicked is out. It is out. It is out. It is out. I saw it last Sunday before it came out. And the embargo has been lifted. Allegedly, it got lifted by Tuesday, and nobody told me nothing. But here is my review of Wicked. First of all, I do not need to give a spoiler alert because 95% of us has either read the book and or have seen a version of Wicked. There has been Wicked on Broadway. There's been Wicked. People have played Wicked in different shows and plays. So this is not a spoiler alert, okay? I won't tell you some of the things that are very conducive to that movie, this particular movie. I won't give those spoiler alerts. But what I will say was this movie was well done. It was worth all of the publicity, all of the widgets and gadgets. Everything you turn around is now pink and green. I believe that in my heart of hearts that it was worth it. First of all, the mics was on. Singing was singing. Ariana Grande, we already knew she could sing, right? She is a pop star. We know all those things. But seeing her in this particular role gave me just a little bit of fresh light to her singing ability, which I was refreshingly glad to see. Okay, I really was just glad to see it. Now, Miss Cynthia, her voice is absolutely angelic for no reason. Do you understand? Cynthia, her voice, amazing. Her talent, undefined. All the things that she put through and put together, drop down. She made that movie. And Ariana Grande and Cynthia together have really made this movie what it needs to be. The parts that I loved the most were Cynthia's parts. And here's the thing. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but Ariana Grande, who plays Glenda the Good Witch, she actually was, and have always said this, no matter if I've seen it on the play or I read the book, she always has been, in my opinion, the villain. I know she plays a goody two-shoe, but all the things, she was a villain. She is a villain. She definitely is a villain, okay? As much as she did make a little turnaround at some point, she still, to me, is a villain. Everything about her says villain. She's one of those people who they act and they appear to be good. They appear to have it together. They appear to have it right. And they could be so far left. The person that I wanted to get was, of course, Cynthia Erivo's played the Wicked Witch, right? And her daddy should have gotten God. Okay, because of course the past, they don't really go into the details of the mother who, allegedly had her affair, and that's how this young girl, the witch, became green, all of the things. They don't go into the details of the mother, and really, like, the mother really just kind of goes unscathed because the focus isn't about the mom. The focus is on Cynthia's character, which is the Wicked Witch. Was she really wicked? Because I felt like the hand that she had been dealt, she tried to make the best of it. And her heart was most definitely in the right place. Again, here's the reason why, even in the Bible, it talks about, like, you are looking for the person who appears to be right. They have all the right answers. They do all the right things. They come off 100% together. And you look to them as the one to be the savior, but to be the quiet one, the one that you think is off, the one that you think ain't doing right, the one you think ain't answering right, who at the end of the day, their life could be the one that you need to be focused on, because wicked is a choice. Okay, being wicked is a choice. And this movie proved just that. I stand by what I say, and I say Ariana Grande, who plays Glenda the Good Witch, is the antagonist. She legitimately is the villain in this story. Okay, she's the villain of this story. But it was beautifully done. It was well made. There are so many messaging, so of course I'm not going to ruin it, but at the end, in the end, I would say that I think the most powerful parts come at the end of this movie. So please go out and see it. It's worth it. I think it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. When we saw it, it was no like previews. So it was really just straight to the point. Go ahead and get comfortable. Bring yourself a little blanket. Get comfortable in the movie theater. I felt like the movie didn't drag at all. Everything was in its time. There's a lot of emotional parts. And the end, again, is the part that you should focus on. Again, not that you shouldn't focus on everything, but there were some powerful statements made by Cynthia's character, the Wicked Witch. There were some powerful statements that I literally had to write down. I mean, I know I wasn't supposed to have my phone, but I kind of got away and found a way to like write it down because they were powerful, absolutely powerful. And I feel like if you're in a situation where you're like, should I do something? Should I not do something? This movie is for you because it's going to guide you. If your spirit is open, it will guide you to what you need to do for you. It's going to enlighten that. And so all I can say is go see the movie. Go ahead and spend your dollar dues, get your money, get your popcorn, do the things. I took my youngest daughter with me. I plan to go back and see it again. I'm going to take my son and my oldest with me and probably take my youngest again because we want to see it again, honestly. I mean, I know I saw that I was able to review it, but the movie itself is absolutely amazing. I was so grateful to go. I was so grateful to experience. The end wrapped it in a little bow for me. And again, there are some things that I can't say only because I want you to see it so that you'll know. Because if I tell you now, I feel like it'll take away. I'm not here for spoilers. I just know that the consensus of the story is something that we either are aware of or have heard or have read. I have the book, rereading the book now, just because now we're in the season of Wicked. Why not? And it's a great movie. The movie is it's A for me. I don't know how other people are going to feel about it. I think you should go and look at it and see what you think, but 100% I thought Wicked was good. So yes, all my Wicked merchandise that I received, I'm excited for. I'm going to wear that thing back and forth however many times. But this is one of those movies where it's going to be the talk of the town. And the beautiful part about the movie coming out this weekend is that when you go to entertain your family and your friends for next week for Thanksgiving, go ahead and make your reservations. I know a lot of people who go to the movies Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, all those things, which I had never done before. I had actually never really understood people going to the movies until when my mother-in-law died about 8 years ago. Her first year, she died in October. She was buried, unfortunately, in November, like November the 5th. And so, of course, with the Thanksgiving being at the end of the month, my husband wasn't really in the mind space to really do anything. And so when December came, we decided to like really just cut all of like the red tape and was like, let's just find some way to do our own thing. And so Thanksgiving Day, we actually went to the movies. I think we went to the movies again, Christmas. We just changed it up a little bit, which was something that I had never experienced. And I knew a lot of people who did that, but it was just not one of those things that I had ever done. And so it was just good to see it. And yeah, it was just really, really good. And I honestly hope that you really take it in and you just have a good time with it. Another thing that I love is Jaleel White. Now, I am a Jaleel White fan. We all know him from Family Matters when he played Urkel. And we all know he didn't transfer to Stefan, which was weird. And I thought about this as an adult. Like back when he came out, I was a kid with him. So we're about the same age. And looking back at it, I was like, he took his glasses off and stood up and had on regular clothes. And we literally, I literally, along with many other people, completely lost their minds over Jaleel White. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know his name was Jaleel White as a kid because, again, we were fed Steve Urkel. So if I would see him, I'd be like, I love Steve Urkel. Here's the thing. I like Stefan. Stefan was fine. Okay. Stefan was fine because Stefan was Jaleel. Technically, they were the same person in a way. But I like Steve too. Like I would have taken him either way. I'm so frustrated with him. Jaleel, I know you probably will never hear this. But what I would say is I was frustrated with him because the way he was a late bloomer and the way that he like dated and the things that he did, I was like, man, I actually had a chance. Like I actually had a chance to be with my crush. Like I actually would have had a chance. I had a chance. And I'm mad. I mean, of course, I live in LA. That probably was a problem. But the fact that like my personality and the things like the fact that I actually loved him down either way, I actually felt like I had a chance. Yep, I did. And I was reading his book. And it's a good book. It's a good read. I was very excited to hear about, again, we wanted to hear about Steve Urkel, wanted to hear about Stefan, which he did talk about. He did not do the voice. Do not ask. He didn't do it. He talks about it. He talks about life after Family Matters. He talked about life after Family Matters, of the ups and downs of trying to figure out what his next role, what he should do. He has a daughter, which I already knew of because I follow him. But it was really, really good to hear. And it was really, really good to know that he, again, not good that he was struggling, but to know that in the midst of that, he finally found, like, he was figuring it out. Like, he never stopped. He was figuring out. And that's really a good thing. And to hear how he talked very highly of what we would know her as Laura Winslow, but Kelly, he talked very highly of her. He's very protective of her. He talks about a little falling out that they had, that they got it together, and he vowed to not, make sure he didn't have feelings for any other co-hosts. But again, they were young. Again, we were all the same age. Now, on a personal level, my husband a couple of years ago got him to do, I think it might, I don't even know what he used. I'm assuming, I guess it was Cameo that he did it with, to have Jaleel White do this video. I still have that video. I ain't never getting that video. Matter of fact, I created it on folder just in case, so I don't have to go looking for it. I could just be like, there it is, and keep it pushing. I say all that to say that you can't tell me that I didn't have a chance. Like, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, you can't tell me I didn't have a chance. But I really appreciated his story. I appreciated learning a little bit more about him, and I think it's a good read. Now, personally, I like the audiobook because, again, he's taking and talking with it and from his own voice. And, of course, like, duh. And so, yeah, if you have and you're looking for a book to read, I highly suggest that you go on ahead and read Jaleel White. Okay, go ahead and read his book. It's a memoir. It's really good. It talks about a lot of different ups and downs. I was very appreciative of that. There's some, there's a little bit of tea, but not like, it's not really super salacious. And that's just because of his upbringing, which I must say, congrats to his mom and dad. Now, I know we lost our mind when he posted his dad. I think his dad, something happened to him. He got sick. Something happened to his dad. And I remember very distinctively, he posted his dad. And I said to myself, man, at the time, I was like, man, I'm at the age where I could have got the daddy and the mom. And no disrespect to his parents. I'm not trying to disrespect his mom, not disrespect his dad, not trying to disrespect him. I'm just saying, while everybody was sitting over there talking about Jaleel White and Steve Urkel, like the daddy and the son, they both fine. Okay. And I say all this to say that the parents really did do a good job. They did a great job of raising him. He talks about some things that he felt that they could have done better in, which I appreciated that part too, because he didn't try to make it seem as if they were perfect. He just was like, listen, they kept me out of trouble. They kept me grounded, and that keeping me grounded, and also making sure his money was right, because a lot of people, when they get a hold to some serious money, will go crazy. And his mom was she was a mastermind in making sure that money stayed where it needed to be. And the fact that like he didn't get his first brand new car until like later in life, like he really is completely settled in his mindset, and I really appreciate that. So go read Jaleel White's memoir. It's a great one. I just started Keke Palmer's. I have not fully gotten through it. I just started, but I'm sure that we have all seen the clips of the Shade Room, Shay, or whatever, Club Shay. Some of the clips of that, or if you watch the whole thing, you know that she's extremely grounded. She's extremely refreshing, and I really do appreciate it. So 2 new books to add to your stocking stuffer or Christmas list is the Jaleel White as well as Keke Palmer. I do have them on audiobooks. I'm going to go ahead and buy. I do need to, need is a strong word, but I am going to go ahead and buy Jaleel White's book and Keke White's book to add to my bookshelf, to add to my book collection, only because I'm a person that has to fill the pages, and yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. And then I might listen to it again, but let the pages go with the pages and kind of do it. I do that. It's just weird. But either way, those are 2 books that I'm going to highly recommend for you to grab. The last thing I want to talk about before we get into our mental health talk of the day is Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray is out here. She is on the Carlos King, I believe his last name is King, not podcast, his YouTube page. They have an interview. The interview is definitely tea. But there's a lot of things that she said that wasn't the part that everybody's been clipping. Like there's a couple parts where everybody's clipping about her talking about the relationship she had with her second husband. They're talking about Nicole Murphy. They're talking about all these different things. But there's a couple of things that I liked, that I appreciated about the interview. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to it or watch it, you should go back and watch Lisa Ray with Carlos King on YouTube on his channel, so that you can get a better attention about what it is I'm talking about. But Lisa Ray was smart. And I really like that. She, she was like trying to let people know that although she knows that people consider her to be a beautiful woman, she never really looked at herself in that way. And a lot of people would say, well, she's talking reckless. There's no way she didn't know. She never said she didn't know she was beautiful. She said she didn't always see herself as beautiful. And I don't understand why people are getting up in arms. I know, like you, just like me, we all have had self-doubt, like times we don't really see ourselves the way other people see us. So why is it unfathomable for her to do the same? Because she's a person, she's a human being. All I'm saying is, this week has been good for interviews. Books have been popping out. I'm here for it. If you don't know, I'm an avid book nerd. I love reading. So of course I'm adding some books to the collection. And I think it might be time for me to get a new bookshelf. I'm not sure. It's time, because I'm running out of space. So I might need to get another bookshelf. But nonetheless, I say all that to say, let us get into today's mental health conversation. Because the holidays are here, it's no longer on its way. It's no longer, in line. It's pretty much here. We are here in the holiday times, and this is going to be a hard time for a lot of people. And although I said, drag your aunties, and I do believe 100% you should, grandmas, mamas too, because y'all not off the hook. Uncles, all y'all can get it. Although I 100% agree with that, I also need you to understand that everybody can't do that. Everybody's just not. Like, some people eat the things that people say, and I don't mean food, but I mean they eat it because they feel like there's no other way. They don't have another way of getting around it. They don't feel strong and confident enough to speak up, because they know that even though the relationship is raggedy as hell and should probably have been canned a long time ago, they know that they, even though it's raggedy, they're still holding on to it because at least it's something. And that is a sad place to be in, no doubt. But so many people are there. So yes, although I'm like team drag people, because that's just me. I said it last episode. I come from a household where my mother is very verbal. She always was verbal. Now, a lot of it, she was saved, as people say, she was saved, loves Jesus and loves the Lord, but she was verbal and she was direct. And I never felt the need as I got older. Now, I was never able to really get that direct with her. And that may have caused some separation at some points, just because the personality clashes. But what I will say is, it still taught me to speak up for myself. One thing that I said I wasn't going to do, especially when I turned 40, I don't know, again, everybody knows that when you turn 40, that bulb come on. And one thing I wasn't going to ever allow myself to do was to ever get into a situation where I didn't speak up for myself, because the feeling of not speaking up for yourself eats at you. Because you know what? I should have said. There's no way I should allow that to slide. And so I say that to say, if you're in a situation where you feel like you cannot speak up for yourself, you're in a situation where you feel like you don't have autonomy over what you want to say, over the things that are happening to you, what I can suggest to you is that you need to take care of yourself as best as possible. If that means not going around somebody, by all means, I need you to do that. I know I kikied at the beginning, and I know I'm for team drag. That's me. I have no problems. I don't really care who it is. I've always been the type of person that's always stepped in situations and been really respectful first. I've always been. And because I feel that I have been respectful, because I feel like I do those types of things, I'm not a fan of watching other people turn on other people. However, my heart goes out to people who feel stuck. My heart is going out to people who feel like they have or already are in a situation where they are no contact. Because the thing about going no contact with people that you really should, in a healthy situation, be able to talk to be able to deal with people, is the fact that it hurts more. You feel good about being able to put the boundary up. But it feels like, if I put a boundary up with my mom and my mom is alive, I feel bad that I even have to put the boundary up. If I have a grandparent that is alive and they're well, and I should be able to sit at their table and eat Thanksgiving dinner, but I can't because the detriment to my mental health is so great. What is the detriment to your mental health? If you leave out of the presence of somebody after you've been in their presence for whatever the reasons are, whatever the coming up together is, and you feel less than, You feel like so small. You feel like somebody stepped on you. You feel like somebody vomited their ill will and negativity on you. You leave their presence and immediately you're depressed. You leave their presence and immediately you're angry. I have been asking God to help me because I personally have been having situations where I feel like when I'm in the presence of somebody who's triggering me and I know my triggers are mine, like they are mine. And so it's something that I have to deal with. But sometimes you can be in the presence of somebody and they're triggering you because it's trying to tell you something. And I feel like sometimes we don't listen enough. We don't listen enough. We let stuff slide. We don't speak up enough. And those things take a toll on you. And so somebody who's experiencing legitimately wanting to be around people who literally don't give a damn about them, it's disheartening. It's lonely, and actually is more lonelier. It's lonely because you feel like, why am I? What is it about me that's allowing this to happen? What is it about me that opens the door for such foolishness that I can't even be around certain people because of the way that they're acting? Like, what is it about me that's allowing this to happen? Nobody wants to be in a situation where this is allowed. This is acceptable. Nobody. And so I feel once again that we have to continuously keep having the conversations about, again, nobody wants these things. They just don't. Nobody wakes up and says, how can I be separated from my family? How can I be treated like the black sheep of the household? What about my friends that are, and a lot of it, you do have to take a understanding about where you are self-wise, right? You really should think about where you are, all the things, but that doesn't change the fact that sometimes it just be people. Some people are just raggedy as hell. And so no matter what you do, no matter how you do, no matter what you say, you may find yourself in situations where, once again, it's the people. It's the people at times. If you're experiencing that, and there are many people who are experiencing that, please understand that I can't even imagine what it is that you're going through right now as you're trying to cope with all these things and the feeling of guilt because maybe you should just give in. Maybe you should just give in and allow the people to treat you the way they treat you, because at least you would be okay. At least. But it's not okay. What you should be doing as we get closer to the holidays, if you have not already done so, I have made sure that I had a conversation with my own personal therapist. This would be a perfect time to decide what tools do you need. If you need to get more journaling going down, whatever it is that you need, I'm here for it, and I want you to try to get it as much as possible so that you're good, because it's really, again, it's just disheartening to have to continuously deal with people who don't value you. And so whatever you need to do to take care of you, that is what you need to do, because don't nobody need that. You don't really need that. Take care of you. Make sure that you're trying to be as physically active, but don't let the activity take over to the point where you're at the gym, you're working out, you're doing your steps, you're, doing home videos, you're doing yoga, you're doing all these things as a place of distraction. Do it because you want your body to feel healthy. Do it because it is a form of stress, but you're not trying to overshadow the stress to the point where you act like it doesn't exist. You don't want to get into that. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure that you get enough rest. If for Thanksgiving you wake up and you don't have, something to do, first of all, I'm going to put a link in the bio of, not the bio, it's the blogger in me, not link in bio, but in the link of the show notes so that you can have something to do. In that link, I have done what's called a Thanksgiving Survival Guide. In this Thanksgiving Survival Guide, we have podcasts that you can listen to, books that you can listen to, movies that you can watch, things that you can do that don't require you to have a slew of people around you, whether you are single by choice, whether you just don't feel like being bothered, because some people are so graveled with pain, with grief, with all levels of things that they can't fathom even doing anything with other people. They just need the solitude. But while you're in your solitude, while you're in a quiet space, I want you to fill your space with the good things that you need. If you want to eat ice cream for Thanksgiving and you want to watch movies and have a lazy day for yourself because that's what you need, I want you to do it. If you want to go online and start shopping for Christmas because that brings you joy and happiness, I want you to do it. Personally, me, because I have a family, I always get up. Now, these last 2 years, I actually had therapy on Thanksgiving. Weird enough, I had Thanksgiving therapy. It was great. I highly recommend. Highly, highly, highly recommend. But for those who, again, don't have access to a therapist, all of your friends and family seem to be preoccupied. This would be a great time to write out your thoughts. This would be a great time to write out how you feel. This is a great time for you to use that quiet time to be productive. One of the things that I would highly suggest is for you to be creative. Find an art project that you can do. Be creative. Do some painting. I was at the beach this past summer and I did almost like a paint sip. But it was just like painting on the beach. Now, again, everybody's not living by the beach. I 100% understand that. But it's the painting, the creativity. It's the doing something that's outside of your range. Those types of things can help you. Fill your day with good things. Outside of cooking for my family, I plan to be in stretchy pants. No, we do not want any visitors. We are good over here on that. Praise be, because we just want to have our daylight. We most likely will be decorating our Christmas tree and putting our Christmas decorations up. We will be watching Christmas movies. I'm going to be able to sleep a little bit. I'm going to have a cocktail because I choose to. I'm going to read. I'm going to get some rest. And those are the things that fill my cup. And I don't know what fills your cup. But whatever's filling your cup, fill it up. Make it overflow. Why? Because life is too short to be that sad all the time where you can control some things, but you're choosing. Sometimes we give away our joy because it just seems like it's the best thing to do. And if we give it away, then we can have an excuse to sleep in that, to lay in that a little bit. I want us to get on somebody's do better. You don't have to lay in that. You don't have to sleep in that. You don't have to do any of those things. You really can decide. You really can decide to make a choice. And that choice could be you making yourself a choice. It's something beautiful about choosing you. Because when you choose you, I'm telling you, when I tell you your life is going to go up, it's going to go up, like all the way up. So sometimes I just need you to decide if you're going to choose you. So choose you. Put the oxygen mask over you first. Choose you. May your Thanksgiving be bright. Like, may it be light. May it be filled with joy. May it be filled with quietness if you seek it. May it be filled with joy. May it be filled with laughter if you are around people. Like, everybody don't have to have bad moments, but if you choose to just step away from your family and just go hang out with some friends, like, I don't know if about you, but I take my friends very serious because that's the family that you get to choose. So you don't get to don't put yourself around no janky friend, because you do know you have the choice to not be around them. So if you make the choice to make a friend and you allow that friend becomes janky, get the hell away from them, because you get to choose them. When you are birthed into a family, or unfortunately when you marry into a family, and I say unfortunately because I haven't always had the best positive situation with everybody in my married into family. And that's not to say I don't have great things about it. Everybody ain't great. But what I will say, I'm not even great. But what I will say in that is that when you get to choose your friends, sometimes choosing your friends can be the best thing for you. If I didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving, I could literally go with a friend. And I know that the friends that I choose, we would have a blast. But if you choose to do so, Thanksgiving don't have to be super traditional. It could be anything you choose for it to be. It could be at any level that you choose for it to be. So choose and choose wisely. Joy is going to be your best pill. It's going to be the best thing to keep you going. It's going to be all the things. So fill that cup and fill it till it overflows in every right way. Well, that is it for this week's episode. Let's recap. 1, you Southern women that made them TikToks on the talks and the ticks, we're not coming for you. We don't care. For the aunties, the grandmas, the uncles, the cousins, all of them that like to start crap on Thanksgiving Day, and you already are probably crap starters when, Thanksgiving ain't in session. You just crap starters in all different areas of your life. We are not allowing you to talk to us disrespectfully. So if you gonna come with it, don't start no, won't be no. Okay, get yourself together. Worry about yourself. Worry about your own marriage that you may or may not have. Worry about your own children. Worry about all the things that you have going on for you, and stop talking badly or making comments or even questioning people who don't owe you an explanation. Because the only people who need to give you an explanation are the people who are going to be taking care of the byproducts of what you're asking. If you're not going to come over there and help somebody be a wife because you know you're not, keep your mouth off of folk. If you're not going to help raise that child or give any money towards daycare and baby diapers and all the things, stop worrying about when somebody's going to have them. In this age in 2024, a lot of people don't need to be having no kids, especially with everything that's about to happen. Okay. And here's the thing. If you have a new boo, we're going to end with this. If you have a new boo, a new boyfriend, a new love interest, I want you to pay attention. I want you to be yourself. Don't you sugarcoat yourself. Don't be nothing that them people want you to be. I want you to be yourself and see if they actually like you for you. Because I'm going to give you a little secret. Your person, the person that you're now with, is going to literally allow that family to decide whether or not you two should be together. And I know it sounds horrible, but a lot of people, especially men, are not about to go away from that family. And if that family gives you the green light, you're going to have the green light. But if they give the red, he ain't going to stay with you that long because he values their family over you. So I'm just telling you. But as you do go over your new boo, pay attention. Pay attention to what grandmama and them is saying. Pay attention to the childhood stories. When you hear the stories about, I used to beat him up and down the hallway and all that, listen to them stories. Lean into them stories because you're going to want to know what type of man or woman you are dealing with. If this person has been around trauma, shenanigans, and foolishness, you might want to pay attention because you need to decide. And if you are thinking about getting engaged or you do get engaged this Thanksgiving holiday or even this Christmas, God bless you. That's a beautiful thing. I remember when I got engaged. Ring was ringing. Everything was great. But I'm going to give you some tea. If that person never changes as of this very second, or as when you go to get engaged or right before you get engaged and all the things that you saw in that person, if that person never changes, are you willing to deal with the person you see for the rest of your life? Their attitudes, their mood swings, their inability to show love, their lack of emotional intelligence, all of those things, along with the good, the things you like. Are you willing to deal with that person unchanged? Please stop going into these marriages thinking that you're going to change somebody, because I'm a living witness. You ain't changing nothing. You ain't going to change nobody. Whatever you were dealing with before you got married, you're going to be dealing with in the marriage. Okay, you're going to be dealing in the marriage, and that goes on both sides. And so don't jump in no marriage thinking that somebody's going to all of a sudden change. Don't do that. Do not tell yourself these lies, because I promise you're going to be laying in a bed of lies. You are going to be laying in the bed of lies. Run. Don't do it. Get married because you choose to. Get married because it's right. Get married because you've asked the questions. You know the history. You know who you're marrying. You know the family who you're marrying. I know people want to tell you not marrying to their family, but I'm going to promise you this. You can live 20,000 miles away and you will still see them family members in that person. I don't even know who my biological father is. I have no relationship with him. I do know who he is. I just don't have no relationship with him. But I can guarantee you, if I sat with him for an hour, I probably would see a lot of the things that I do, and I had no interactions with this man. I probably could still see the things that he does and see the things in the person that he is, even with having little or no interaction with this man. So when people say, I'm not marrying into the family, you are. You will marry into that family because you will see attributes of that family in that person that you married. I really don't get why nobody don't understand that. Okay? Have a good weekend. Remember to do something good for yourself, something that will fill your cup. Yes, I know that we are trying to take that turkey out. I know it. I know that we're trying to cut our things up. I know we're prepping hard. I get it. Holidays is coming. You're ready to do your thing. Get your mimosa for Thursday morning. I get all that. But I also want you to find something to do that is going to make you happy, that's going to uplift you, that's going to build you up. Okay? Well, I want you to have the most amazing day, the most amazing weekend. And we'll be back next week with Conversations with Toy.
Thank you as always for joining me. And I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations, that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.